That is hardcore.
This is hardcore shit.
But for me, it's harder and harder to resist.
This is Hardcore Horror with Mike and Brigitte. I'm Mike, and Brigitte, are you there?
I am here. What's up, Mike?
Oh, well, hey, look at this. This is our end of the year, end of the season episode here. We are down to the last month, and wow, it's all over for this year.
It's crazy. I feel like we just talked about end of the year last year. It just seems like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But this will be our last episode for this year and this season, so we're gonna wrap it up with a nice little talk about some things. We got a guest. Who's our guest tonight?
Our guest is Glen Wright, also known as Santa Glen.
Awesome. So we have a Santa to talk to, and we're going to talk about some Christmas stuff here in a little bit. Let's just get started and get out of the way. Let's talk about some recent watches. What have you been watching lately?
So I've watched a few different things. So I know that you had watched this the last time we had talked, but it was my first time catching it. The movie Smile.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. A little disappointed in the end, but that's kind of what I expected out of it. I didn't have big expectations for it, so I wasn't let down too bad. But I do think they could have done better on the ending. But overall, I thought it was great. Also, I watched some more episodes of Wednesday, so we can talk about that. I still haven't finished the series yet. I'm struggling with it. The more it gets into it, the more bored I get.
Okay.
So I did a rewatch of Better Watch Out.
Yep.
Christmas one. I also watched another Christmas horror movie called Sick for Toys.
I haven't seen that one.
Man,
I don't think so.
The plot is I liked it because the plot was different. I was like, oh my god, it's not a formula movie. And so yeah, that's a pretty good one. Want to check out. I'm trying to think where I streamed it. I think it was on Tubi, honestly. Also watched I think it was 3 or 4 episodes. I think it was 3 episodes of a crime documentary on Netflix called Killing Fields of Texas.
I watched that too. Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
I really liked it. There's also a movie that came out a few years ago. It's got Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it about that. It's called The Killing Fields as well. That was pretty good.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but it's related. It's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Same stuff.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Cool. Look, I'm gonna put that on my list since you said it was good. Want to check out?
Sure.
All right. Also, well, that's pretty much it. That's all I have on my list. That's worth talking about. What about you?
I got a list for you. I'll run them through real quick. Some rewatches and stuff. Suspiria, the newer one. I do like that movie. I liked it a lot better than I thought I would. Freaky, I know you weren't a big fan of that one. Did a rewatch of The Sadness. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Society, rewatch that again. You like that movie, don't you?
Yeah. That's a crazy one.
It is very crazy, but it's so good, so good.
It is good.
I did a rewatch of Pie Wacket. I actually love Pie Wacket. I love the movie, but I can tell you that it's not a great movie. It's not a great movie, but I love it for some reason. And this is like the 3rd or 4th time watching it. And I'll tell you, 3rd or 4th time watching it and there's a certain scene I'm watching it and it's giving me chills.
No shit.
Yeah, which, at that point, you don't really expect it. But I love that movie. And again, I can't say it's a great movie and I can't say it's for everybody. So if anybody wants to go and watch it and be like, that movie was terrible, I can see why people wouldn't really like it, but I enjoy it a lot.
What'd you say it was called?
It's called Pie Wacket, which is a terrible name, but it's kind of like a monkey's paw sort of fable tale, but I just really enjoy it.
Yeah, Pie Wacket. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's not a good title.
I was like, sounds like they're beating pussy up. I'll whack it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up next was a little film called A Wounded Fawn. That was on Shudder. This one was pretty good, but it's a little uneven. And there's something about these new movies that come out where they're doing 2 different themes. They start out and then midway through they kind of switch gears a little bit. So the first part of it was really, I was really digging it. And it kind of switched toward the end and went a little wild a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Not too bad.
I'm like you. I have noticed that pattern a lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so, and the thing about it is that the first one that I can recall was Martyrs, but the director did it so well and tied those two
Well,
stories together so well.
I would say From Dusk Till Dawn, but
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh shit, I've not seen that in so long.
yeah,
That's a good one. I'll have to go back and rewatch that. But
absolutely.
yeah. Anyways,
Up next was a little 1989 film called Beyond Dream's Door. This one was okay. I wasn't as happy with it as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be sort of kind of a Lovecraftian thing, but it's very, very low budget. Up next was a rewatch of I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I've only seen this movie once, and I actually forgot that, spoiler alert, that there's like a supernatural element at the end of it. It's not a good movie. It's the third one in the franchise, and it's the one that pretty much put the nail in the coffin for him. But yeah, I just had to watch it again. Next was The Autopsy of Jane Doe again. I love that movie. I think it's fantastic. I think that's one of the movies that years from now people are going to be talking about, because it really is a great movie. Up next was a rewatch of Baskin. Did you watch Baskin when it was on Netflix?
I don't think so.
Oh, you should have checked that one out. It's not on there anymore, I don't think, but it may be on Tubi or somewhere. A squad of unsuspecting cops go through a trapdoor to hell when they stumble onto a black mass in an abandoned building. It's wild, it's crazy, it's hardcore for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very hardcore. Up next was Masters of Murder Collection. This is these 4 movies that came out early 2000s. It was one of Dahmer, Bundy, Gacy, and Ed Gein. Dahmer, Jeremy Renner played Dahmer.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch those? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. Did a rewatch of those. Looking at them at a 2022 lens, they're not really as graphic, as some of the stuff we're seeing now for sure. But they're still good movies. I really like them.
I still appreciate those because for their time it was good back then, right? And so I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, I think so too. Did a rewatch of The Rage Carrie 2. I kind of like this movie. I don't know, it's not great, but I kind of like it. Then I did a rewatch of Carrie from 2002. Did you see that TV movie of Carrie?
2002. And I know they've redone it several times.
Yeah, so this was one that came on for TV, and it was Angela Bettis was the.
Thinking this is the one I didn't like.
Yeah. Okay. So of all of them, this one is definitely the worst.
That's what I'm thinking.
For me, for one thing, it's just too long, and the CGI just does not hold up at all. Just watching it again, I was like, "Oh my god, that's bad. That's real bad." I think they thought we can do some CGI at this time and make it look make you do things that they couldn't do in the original. But yeah, it didn't hold up very well, to be honest. Up next was a rewatch of Freddy versus Jason. Up next was a little movie called The Accursed, which just came out pretty recently. It was decent. I actually liked it all right. It's got Meg Foster in it, and it's got the girl from American Pie who's in it. Okay. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It's just your basic standard curse demons coming through kind of deal, but pretty decent.
Okay.
Up next, last night I watched a movie called Masking Threshold.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you, okay? On the poster of Masking Threshold, it says one of the best horror films of the year.
Okay.
On Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's 100%. Not certified, but still 100%. IMDb, it's 6.9. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's good for the film.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be a good movie. All right, cool. Yeah. I was not impressed with this movie. This movie, it's different. It is different. You haven't seen something like this every day for sure. But I don't know. It's just about this guy who's got this ringing in his ear, like this tinnitus weird thing. But all you're seeing is images throughout the whole movie. And they're you never really see him. You see his face, you see parts of his face and stuff, but you really don't see him. And he's narrating everything through the whole movie. And so there isn't much to it. So So there's this thing called ASMR. Do you know what I'm talking about?
AMSR.
ASMR.
ASMR.
It's this new thing where people are obsessed with sounds, and these people are becoming famous by recording sounds on YouTube, like just scratching, whispering.
Oh, I have heard.
Do you know
that.
what I'm talking about?
Yes, my kid, out of all people. I said kid, still teenager, right? But she I was like, what kind of sounds? Like what? She was like, Mom, don't you get it? You know, I was like, not really. I mean, I don't really understand the infatuation, but hey, whatever floats your boat.
This is basically what this movie is. Like, there's a lot of stuff. He's trying to do different sounds to make the ringing in his ear sound differently and change and everything. And so he puts all these things in bags and stuff. It's really what this movie's about. But this movie's getting high praise, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm too old. I wasn't that impressed with it personally. Like I said, I can give it kudos for being different and original. Never seen anything like it for sure. Don't want to see anything else like it for sure. To be honest. But yeah, so I mean, maybe worth a watch if you just want to watch something totally different. But you know what? Like I said, it just wasn't really for me personally. And the last thing I watched today was a rewatch of Shark Night. Have you ever seen that one?
Shark Night?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Shark Nights are shark movies, dime a dozen, but this one's pretty decent. I like it. I mean, it's, you know, it has decent kills and stuff. I mean, not too bad. Nothing beats Jaws, so you know, there we go. But anyway,
I know, right? That's the bad thing. That's the bad thing when you watch shark movies these days, because
yeah, there's so many of them.
You can't beat Jaws.
You can't beat Jaws. You can't beat Jaws. That's all I got. So the one other thing we're doing before we bring on our guests is we're going to do some top movies and stuff. Okay. First thing I want to do is talk about your favorite top 3 Christmas horror movies, or our top 3 Christmas horror movies. And I thought, I do one, you do one, I do one, you do one. You want to do that?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Okay. All right.
It makes you wonder if we have any on the same list.
Yeah. It'll be cool to see. All right. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. My top 3 Christmas horror movies. Number 3, Rare Exports.
Okay, I don't think I've seen it. Okay.
Oh, you gotta watch that one. It is really good. So let me see here. On Christmas Eve in Finland, Santa Claus is unearthed by an archaeological dig. Soon after, the children start disappearing, leading the boy and his father to capture Santa. And with the help of fellow hunters, they look to sell him back to the corporation that sponsored the dig. But there's his elves who are determined to free their leader. It's so good. This is not a happy Santa movie, but I really dig it. Yeah, I think you should check that one out. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Inside.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't really consider that a Christmas, but yes, absolutely, because it is on Christmas. Right?
It is on Christmas. It's one of those that you can't. I'll tell you one thing. It's one of those that you almost forget that it's a Christmas movie because the shit is so intense.
Right.
That was a really good one. That one I could really relate to being a mom, and that poor woman just had such a shitty day. But I'll tell you one damn thing. Like when you're like pregnant and you're trying to protect your offspring, like she has fought her way, but it's so damn intense you forget it's a Christmas movie. So
yes, I love that. I love that movie.
I do too, for sure.
All right, number 2 for me, Gremlins.
Gremlins is good.
Gremlins is you got to put that as a Christmas movie. I mean, it definitely is set in that time, so
it is.
Yeah, love that movie.
Yeah, classic.
What do you got for number 2?
Number 2, and it's funny because I did a rewatch of this last night. Better Watch Out.
Better Watch Out. Okay.
Do you like that movie?
I like it. It's a very Home Alone-ish kind of.
He totally drops the paint cans. And
right.
All the things. I'll tell you what got me on the movie the first time I watched it was I didn't really see this shit coming. I didn't watch the trailer or anything. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Right.
And the kid, but the the main killer, he was awesome. His acting was so good. I was like, he is such a fucking shit. The kid, he just got under my skin. Like, he played such a perfect character, and such a little nut job. I loved it.
Yeah, that's very cool. All right, my number one Christmas horror movie. You know what it is?
I don't know.
Black Christmas.
That's mine too. That's mine too. And so you can tell me why, a few things why it's your favorite, and I'll tell. They might be the same. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you gotta love it because obviously it predates Halloween, and it's sort of a slasher. It's not as quote unquote slasher as some of the ones that came out later, but it has that good stuff. It has the phone calls, and you have the creepiness to it because you don't really know what's going on with the guy, and what his motive is, completely. I love you have the killer POV in it, which that's one of the first times, other than Peeping Tom, obviously.
Yeah.
And I like the kills. I think the kills are pretty good, pretty decent.
Yep.
And the ending, I like the ending where obviously it's not as happy as it alludes to. There's a lot of stuff about it. I mean, I like the subplots, and just the characters are pretty good. They're well drawn out, I think, because you have a lot of different characters and stuff. They're not all exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I love it that the character was kind of based off of like the urban legend, the babysitter and the man upstairs, or there's some urban legend like that.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And I think I read a couple years ago somewhere that they did base the killer off of it's a true story.
About the guy who was living in the walls, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. There was another movie I watched when I was a kid that was based off of that. I wish I could remember the name of it. The Man in the Walls. That shit creeped me out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It did. I'm like, what the fuck? So I think that's creepy there, that the entire time. And I think that was the first time that's ever been done. And then they had, the movie When Stranger Calls. That was, Black Christmas was way before that time. And that's just the fact the killer being in the house. It's been played so many times, but that kind of started. And I also think, like, you're right, it is kind of a slasher film. It's not as gory and maybe as intense as some of the things that come out later, but I think it kind of opened that door for other movies. Sure. So yeah, that's funny. We both have the same number one. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, our next list is top 3 biggest disappointments of horror movies in 2022.
Okay. That one was pretty easy for me.
Okay, yeah, me too. We'll go number 3. Number 3 for me was Firestarter.
So I didn't see that, but I heard that it was not great.
Yeah, it wasn't great. And, it takes the original movie, and I think I've said before that I really didn't think the original movie was, like, fantastic. It's an okay movie. It's decent. It's pretty good. But I felt like it really could have been improved upon a little bit, and they just didn't do it. They just didn't do it.
One of those remakes, man.
Hit or miss,
Hit or miss, yep.
Yep. What's your number 3?
My number 3 was a movie I saw in the theater called Watcher.
Okay.
It's funny because that is on a lot of different websites. It's out there. That's in a lot of different people's top favorite.
Yeah.
It was all I could do to sit through the movie. It was all I could do to sit through it. And I kept waiting for a kill to happen. Never happened. And I kid you not, last 10 minutes of the movie, I didn't realize the movie was going to be over. I had to use the bathroom so bad. I got up, I come back. Tracy was like, you missed the movie's over. You missed the only kill, and it sucked. It wasn't even good. So I went back and looked it up and rewatched it. It was terrible. Did you ever watch it?
I did watch it. Yeah.
Did you like it?
I mean, because I had already heard from you how terrible it was, so maybe I had some low expectations going in.
Yeah.
So I didn't hate it or nothing, but I didn't for sure love it, and I don't see why it would be on any uh, top 10 list or anything. But
Yeah, I was surprised too.
yeah, and it has like got a really good score on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, but for some reason, but no, I mean I didn't hate it, but I didn't go to the theaters to watch it. I probably would be irate like you too.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm more pissed off that one kill scene. So,
right.
so what's your number two?
Number two, I got Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Okay, so I didn't watch that, but I think you had told me I read really bad things. So I was like, hey, I'll just skip that one.
Yeah. I mean, you had the first one, which I love, second one, which you like a lot.
Yep.
And then the third one was pretty mediocre, lukewarm anyway. Of course, you had all the stuff going on with the director, and but this was a chance for them to reboot it and kind of come fresh with it. But unfortunately, I mean, they just took the really low budget approach, and it just didn't work for me. Yeah, it was a pretty big disappointment. I wasn't happy with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for number two?
Number two, Mr. Harriman's Phone.
Okay.
We talked about this. I was kind of like, is this a horror movie? And it is. It wasn't horror for me. It's under horror. It's under horror, but to me, I was like, this isn't scary. Like, it wouldn't pick up for me. And at the end, I was like, the movie to me, I felt like it never even got started. I don't know.
Well, it's a mild Stephen King story, It's a very mild.
Yeah.
I liked it okay, but I'll tell you what happened with me with that movie. I actually didn't even watch it in one sitting. It actually took me 3 different times to watch it for whatever reason or another, but I watched like part and then I watched a little bit and I finished it later on. So maybe for me it wasn't as bad. I don't know. But I mean, yeah.
You didn't have to sit through it because it's a slow burn, trust me.
Yeah. So I finished it that way, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't great enough. Nothing to write home about.
Okay.
For sure. Number one. I got a number one here.
Okay.
For sure. Might be easy to guess, but there was one movie that really disappointed me the most.
I wonder if it's my number one.
I want to think it disappointed a lot of people this year, and that movie was Halloween Ends.
Yep.
That yours?
Nope, but that was definitely disappointing. I didn't want to put that one on there because the movie was terrible. It had enough good kills in there for it not to hit my most disappointing list.
Well, I was severely disappointed in it. I mean, regardless of what I think was redeeming about it, it wasn't what I wanted at all. And, you had such a hype and build up for that movie for so many years that there was just no way not to be let down for that for me. I mean, that was just a movie that did not go in the right direction, I think. And, you can applaud it for being brave enough to take its own little storyline and make it the way they wanted to. But I just think it could have been so much better. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's definitely not badly made or anything like that, but it just wasn't what I wanted. So definitely severely disappointed. Number one, Halloween Ends for me. What do you got from number one?
My number one was Black Phone.
Black Phone, really? Really?
Yep.
Huh.
I think like you for Halloween, I remember reading about Black Phone when they, before it was a thing, you had Sinister with Ethan Hawke in it, which I love that movie. I think after watching that, and I'm like, oh, Ethan Hawke's going to come back and he's going to be the villain. I think that I just set myself up for like these crazy high expectations, and maybe that's why it let me down. It's I never thought it got real. I didn't think there was like really no good kills in there. Some of the storyline, I was like, that why they put that part in there, like that doesn't even make sense. I don't know. The acting, the character, I don't even think he has a name. Ethan Hawke's character.
Yeah.
He's one of the top worst horror characters of 2022. I think.
Oh, you didn't like him, huh?
Mm-mm. No, he went. Yeah, he didn't scare me at all, and I didn't like the storyline behind his character. The entire movie was disappointing, and that really stinks because I had such high expectations, and I love Ethan Hawke too as an actor. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was definitely nowhere near as good as Sinister, but I liked it, and I thought his character was creepy.
yeah,
Personally, yeah, I did. I thought he was a creepy dude when he's sitting there waiting.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely not on par with Sinister, man. That movie is fantastic.
yeah. It was, yeah, for sure.
Those are the three biggest disappointments we got. I do have one film that is the worst horror film I watched all year for maybe the last 10 years. The worst horror movie that I watched was called Bring It On, Cheer or Die. That movie was absolutely abysmal. Nobody should ever have to watch that movie.
What is it called? Wait, okay, so
Bring It On. It's the cheerleading movie. It's Bring It On, Cheer or Die. It was absolutely terrible.
That's funny. So what's terrible about it?
Everything. It's like it was just not. I mean, it was a total cash cow. I mean, I don't know where to begin. It was just. I don't even want to think about that movie anymore. Just
That is
put it in the bin. Put it in the garbage bin and be done. All right. So next thing we got top 10 horror movies of 2022. But you don't have 10. How many do you have for me?
I only have like a few. I have like maybe 4.
Yeah, 4. Okay, so I'll just go up till I get to 4, and then you'll join me, right?
Yeah,
work.
it works.
Okay, all right. All right, so I did 10. All right, so I did an honorable mention too. Honorable mention. Well, I'll do that one first. Studio 666. I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. I actually thought it was going to be really stupid and corny and just not good at all. But I actually really liked it. Like I thought it had some pretty decent gore, for the Foo Fighters.
This is Foo Fighters, right? So it's
Yeah.
funny. I was just talking about this movie earlier, and I was like, "Have I seen this?"
I think you said you saw it.
I have. Yes, and Tracy was like, "Yeah, we watched it together." I was like, "What's it about?" It's like it's kind of campy, And I was like, "Did I like it?" He goes, "Yeah, you said you liked it." And I must have been drinking that night or something because I'm like, I don't remember that movie like at all.
I think you did say you liked it.
Okay,
yeah. But that's my honorable mention. All right, number 10, I got Prey. Did you watch Prey?
Nope. I've read all about it. I've had it on my list. I just haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah, I really liked Prey. I thought it was done really well. The Predator movies have been hit or miss, and they've kind of been lacking a lot lately. And I thought this was a good sort of reboot of them. So I really enjoyed it. So that's my number 10. Number 9, Barbarian. And I'll tell you this. Honestly, this is only after a few watches of Barbarian. If you'd asked me when I got out of the theater, I probably would have maybe put it on my top 3 disappointments because the first initial reaction to this movie was like, ugh, what the hell? But having watched it a few more times now, I do appreciate a lot more. There's still a few things about it I don't really like, and I do think it is uneven. That first half, man, is the best. If you can, if they could have did more of that with it, I think it would have really been good. But as it stands, it's still a pretty good movie. I don't think that some of the storylines and subplots were necessary, but overall though, it's still a pretty decent movie. So that's my number 9.
You're right, and I should have put that one. I should have put that one on my list. It's funny because we just talked about this. Like we talked about this movie a couple different times.
Yeah,
a few podcasts ago, and it is good. You're right, and you're right. First half, friggin' awesome. Second, so you went back and rewatched it since we've talked.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like 3 times now.
Okay,
yeah.
So all right, so it's worth going back and checking out a second time then.
Well,
maybe even a third.
I mean, there's few movies that I won't go watch second time. I mean, like I'll never see Bring It On, Cheer or Die again. But
obviously,
but there's but there's few movies that I won't give a second look sometimes. So yeah, and sometimes that's what it takes. I mean, I think when you again when they say, oh, it's the greatest horror movie since so and so or of the year and something, you get all hyped up and then you just go, nah, Not necessarily.
I think the marketing people come up with that shit. You're like, they say it's the best movie. Who's they?
Yeah, who are they? Who are they?
I think
Exactly.
they pay to put on their poster.
Right. All right. Number 8 for me was Speak No Evil.
It's funny you say that. So I've had that on my list for a while, and I've had that on my list because I have seen it countless times on top movies to watch for 2022. But you're saying it's in your top. It is your top 10 favorite.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I really liked it. I thought
So
it was really good.
a lot of people, like, I've seen this over and over again. I'm like, how have I never even, like, I've had it on my list. How have I not made time to watch it? So what is it? I don't think we've talked about it before.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's about a Danish family that visits a Dutch family when they met them on a holiday. So they met them, and then they're like, "Oh, come and visit us," and so and so. So then they go and visit them, right?
Uh-huh.
But when they go and visit them, things turn very sour. And I don't want to go into it and give too much away, to be honest. I went into this movie knowing absolutely nothing about it, and I just loved it. I thought it was really good. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So number 8 for me. Number 7, Orphan, First Kill.
So I haven't seen that one either. I love the first movie.
Yeah.
Didn't it just come out? Like, it just came out, didn't it?
It's not been out too long. Yeah, a few months.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's on Paramount Plus right now. So the thing about this movie is, when they said this movie was coming out, I was like, oh boy, that's been like a long time for a sequel. Quite a few years. I was a little weary about it. Like, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. And then I thought, well, it's just probably going to be another straight formula of the first. So it's going to be whatever. Probably enjoyable enough. But it's not. It totally turns it on its head, and it's really good. And I can see why they made it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I do
that's
recommend
funny
that one.
because watching after I watched the trailer for it, that's what I thought was. Oh, it's gonna be. It looks, even based off the trailer, it kind of looks like it's based off of the first one, like same storyline.
Yeah.
So you're saying no, it's definitely different.
It's not. Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Up next, what for me was number 6, Scream, or Scream 5.
Okay.
I know you're not a big fan of this franchise. Of course, I love this franchise. Scream 5. I did go see this one in theaters. I really like it. I mean, there are things about it that I don't love, but it introduced some new blood, and it's got some of the legacy characters. Of course, some things happen to those, but and then now we're gonna have a new one that's coming out here in about 3 months. So
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. So I love these movies. One thing I always loved about it was that they did stick with the characters. Now, of course, this new movie is not going to have Neve Campbell in it, so that's a little bit of a letdown. But we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. But I do enjoy these movies. They are slasher movies, and nothing beats the first one. The first one is iconic to me, and that was really the time when I was really getting into horror movies. I watched horror movies all my life, but that's when I was really like started purchasing horror movies, and rewatching stuff. So I've seen that first one 100 times.
Was probably a big influence to you because when that movie come out, I mean, you think about the time period. I mean, it seems like we went like a long time without a really, really good slasher film.
Yeah,
so that was kind of brought it back.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it brought it back in a different way. We didn't have the boobs and all the other stuff that kind of came along with the 80s and stuff, and it was a little different. So it kind of pushed some new boundaries and mixed it up a little bit. But yeah, so that's a franchise I do love.
Yeah,
and hopefully they won't mess up 6, but we'll see. Number 5. I'm at number 5. I got Pearl.
Okay, Pearl. I want to watch that. That's Ty West, right?
Ty West. It's the prequel sort of to X. It's really lovely. It's filmed in like Technicolor. It has a really gorgeous sort of look. His films are always set, and have these certain aesthetic appeals to them. And Mia Goth just, she's just really great in these characters. I mean, she really just gives it her all. It's a really good character study of someone who just really, gets so disappointed that they just kind of sort of break and become sadistic. But I really think that's a great movie.
Okay.
Number 4 for me was a little movie came on Hulu called Fresh.
Okay, so I've heard about them. I don't think I've seen it.
Are you sure? I thought we talked about Fresh. Fresh is the one. It's about the girl who meets the guy who takes her back home. They meet him on the dating app, and there's a little bit of spoiler alert cannibalism going on.
I feel like I have seen it. It cracks me up when you first. It cracks me up. Listen to what you said. A guy meets a girl, and they hook up, and they go on a date, and one takes one back to the other house. I was like, it sounds like a million movies. I don't know. Fresh. Yes, I do remember this because of it's Fresh. That I completely forgot about that movie, but yeah, I did see it. I'm gonna go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah, remember he cut like a piece of her butt off.
Yes, yes. Oh my God, I cannot believe that I forgot about that.
It was a good movie. Yeah, it was unexpected.
That is exactly why you got to write your damn movies down. How do you keep up with your movies, Mike? Because you watch a lot more than I do. So,
I wouldn't say I even really keep up with them anymore, but
it's difficult, isn't it?
I generally check in on the Slasher app and put that I'm watching a movie there, so I can go back and see what I'm watching there.
Okay.
So anyway, that's my number 4. What do you got for number 4?
Number 4, I have Smile. We just talked about it.
Okay.
Just talked.
So
we just talked about this. You watched it last podcast, or we talked about last podcast. But yeah, come back and watch it. Really, I liked it. I liked it. Disappointed in the end, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I like I said, to me, it was more of a popcorn movie. It wasn't like something totally fresh or anything, but it's just some of that familiar goodness, that
Yeah.
That sort of stuff that just, you just kind of like, this is this works for me.
I love it that you called it a popcorn movie. That's awesome.
Yeah. My number 3. Okay. Number 3, top 10, 2022. Terrifier 2.
That is so funny because that is mine too.
That's your number 3?
It is.
Okay.
I swear, guys.
That's right. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, the gore, you can't beat the gore. I mean, it's all that stuff was fantastic. I mean, the biggest sort of limitations of this movie is plot wise, and it's just hard to care about the characters too much. And they really tried to make you care about the characters, but I didn't feel like it really succeeded too much. You're really just there for art and his killings mostly, which is again, good for if that's what you're going for. But there is a little bit lacking in it, which is why it's kind of a little bit lower on my list. But still, man, it was fun. It was a fun watch.
Yep, same. Definitely agree on it. The plot, I mean, we talked about it, after we first watched it, but the plot, but he made up for it in the kills. So, yeah. And I think the director was really happy with the way it turned out. He'd been working on it for a really long time, from what I understand. Just different things that I've read about it. So that's good. Good. Hey, if it's how he wanted it, it turned out great. Awesome.
I'm sure he's happy with it because I think it did really well at the box office.
I think so. Yeah, he's happy.
Right. So, of course, he's probably already thinking about part 3. So, I mean, he really wants this to be the new Freddy or Jason or something kind of thing, and and right now, what competition does he have? So,
Exactly. Well, it's out there. I see Art the Clown. I actually have. It's funny. I actually have in my hanging up in my car. I have Art the Clown smelly good from my rear view mirror.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's definitely a lot of merchandise on it for sure.
Mhm.
All right, you ready for number 2?
Yep.
All right, number 2, top 10, 2022. For me, X.
That's my number 2. So
That's your number 2?
that is crazy.
That's
Wow.
awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
I love X. I thought it was great. I love the look of it, the 70s feel. I mean, it does feel like you're going to step into Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It sort of just has that look. But the sort of the storyline about aging and just kind of and sort of the sadness of these characters. Pearl was just. I mean, yeah, she's a crazy maniac, but still, there's a lot of sadness there. I think when you look at just where her station in life is, and of course Mia Goth playing both of those characters just did great, and all of the other actors and stuff did a great job as well. I thought so. I was just really happy with this movie. I went into it not expecting that much because for me, Ty West is a lot of times hit or miss. And so I wasn't really sure what I was going to be getting with it, but yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it and look forward to part 3.
Yeah, no, it was really good. It's funny. I'm gonna go back and watch Pearl, but like you, I loved X. Same thing. 70s feel. Acting was phenomenal. It was the gore was really good. There was one scene that I was kind of like, oh. And that would be the older couple in the bedroom. I was like,
Right.
And then you almost felt kind of sorry for the villain. And it's just like the whole twist on it was really good. Really, really
Yeah.
good. But see, I did go into the movie with higher expectations because I had heard that it was so great. But I wasn't disappointed. I come out and I was like, this movie is badass. I like it.
All right, good, very cool, very cool.
Now, if we have the same movie once in them, that'd be crazy.
I will let you tell yours first. Okay, let's go. Top number 1 of the top 10 2022 horror movies. What do you got?
Mine was The Sadness.
Yeah, that's mine. The
No
Sadness.
Wow.
Absolutely, The Sadness. So yeah, I just rewatched that again very recently. And you know what? I got the Blu-ray. And I didn't even know that the guy who made the movie is like a Canadian.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah, I think he lives in Taiwan now or something, but he's a Canadian. Yeah, he was just like talking on the interviews and stuff. And I'm like, this dude's just talking plain English because he's like, wow, he's a Canadian. Like, I wasn't expecting it.
Oh,
but this movie is so good. So bloody, so gory, so gross, but so fun. Nihilistic to a little bit, but like I don't do zombie movies, but when you do like something where people are just not themselves, but I enjoy those movies a lot.
That was like a completely different twist on a zombie type movie,
right?
But it was. Now that I think about it, I'm dying to go back and watch this movie over again. This was, and you had watched. I'm pretty sure that you had watched it way before I did. And you recommended it. I think several people had recommended it to me, and so I watched it by myself, and it was the only movie that I can truly say that when it was over, I was like almost satisfied. I was like, wow, fucking finally, there is a gory, fun, crazy, just out there movie that the acting, everything was so great about it. And I was actually like, I was like, damn, finally, this is good. And I was so satisfied when it was over.
Yeah.
So it's a good one. And one of my favorite scenes is in the subway.
Which part?
The subway scene. Oh, you're like, which one?
Well, because that's when everything goes crazy and they go ballistic on the subway. Remember, like just blood everywhere.
That's the part where I was like, oh my God, can you imagine being in this fucking subway and everybody's just, and I'm trying not to spoil it, but hopefully everyone has seen this movie at this point because we've talked about it. This will be like third or fourth time we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Badass movie. Check it out. I think it's a Shudder original, isn't it?
I'm not for sure, but it's definitely on Shudder, or it was, for sure. Yeah, it should still be on there, I think.
Okay.
Shudder and AMC Plus, I guess. Yeah. So, did you know that they actually filmed this movie during the pandemic? Which, I mean, there's a lot of pandemic movies made, but a lot of it's usually, few people and stuff. But think of all the people that are in this movie.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't realize it, but that does make sense. I mean,
well, the thing about it was they filmed it in Taiwan, and Taiwan actually had one of the best success rates for COVID. So they didn't have all these lockdown and stuff. So they were able to do all that stuff there. Probably could have done it anywhere else, or very few places. So yeah, because it just looks like a normal movie. I mean, there's people everywhere in this movie. Where. If you made it probably in America at that time, you wouldn't have been able to put all these people together.
Maybe that's why it's our favorite for 2022 because there wasn't that much made, or if it was, no, I don't know. It takes different timelines to do different movies, but
it does. But it's just a very good kudos to them for getting it made during that time and getting it made so effectively because it really is a well put together movie.
That just made the movie even that much better. That is crazy because there's scenes where they're all up on each other. Subway scene, one of my favorites. That movie is so good. I definitely want to go back and watch that one for sure.
Yeah. IMDb says trivia. This film was funded with a mixture of cryptocurrency and a revenue from the producer's cam girl business.
Wow.
Hey, you do what you got to do.
That's right. Hey.
But anyway, all right. That's our top movies of 2022, and there's a lot of movies we didn't watch. I was looking at a bunch of movies like I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that one yet. I know that's gonna be. I heard these new movies, Violent Night was awesome. I haven't watched it yet, but so there's tons of movies out there to watch. But
for me too. There's a lot of movies I'm like, how come I haven't heard of it? But
right. Yeah. There's just so many. All right, you ready to talk to our guest?
Yeah, let's bring him on.
Let's bring him on.
Hey, so tonight we have Glen Wright, also known as Santa Glen. Santa Glen is an actor at Slaughterhouse. He's acted many things. He's also playing Santa at Enchanted in Nashville, Tennessee right now. Hey, Santa Glen, what's up?
Hey.
A whole lot, not a whole lot. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Everybody's good. So we're excited. Hey, how lucky did we get? We're so excited to have you on tonight. How lucky are we? We were so close to Christmas and we got a Santa on tonight. So, and not only any Santa, but you've also played a creepy Santa, right?
I have done that too, yes.
Okay.
Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, they was doing an event a few years ago, a special for the Travel Channel at National Nightmare, and they needed a Santa Claus, preferably somebody that already had their own messed up Santa suit. Yeah. Well, since I have several different outfits, several different suits, I had one of them that as soon as I got it, it was a little bit dirty and dingy. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to make this into a haunt suit, an eerie suit. So I took it out in the yard and took a blowtorch to it. Messed it up a little bit and distressed it out a bit and made it look real good for a haunt.
Yeah, that's awesome. How long have you been playing Santa?
Well, I have
acting as Santa.
That's better because the way I put it, I portray Santa because with as much expense and time as I have in it, it's definitely not playing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh my God, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So no, I've been a commercial Santa Claus for going on 5 years now.
Okay. And so I know the first time I've met you was at Slaughterhouse, but you didn't play Santa. You were a villain there. And I can't remember for the life of me. I feel like I've seen you dress as a couple different things. Am I right?
I have been in a couple different things as far as stage productions and all, and done a couple music videos of various types.
Yeah, so I watched one of those tonight. It was the Jack White that was filmed in Nashville, and it had the prison. Looked like it was filmed at the prison, but you had a pretty good murder scene there, right?
Yeah, I got killed as I was getting into a vehicle.
Yep. Yeah.
And the young lady who portrayed the killer, she's actually a pop rock singer out of Canada named Candle.
Candle. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All right, cool. It was a crazy video. It was pretty gory. I didn't really understand, like, the song wasn't my favorite, but the music video itself is pretty out there. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So that'd be good one.
We had no idea what the song was or anything.
Oh, that's crazy. You're just like, hey, they give you a part. All right, you're gonna be getting in this truck and you're gonna get murdered, but you didn't know any details about the song.
You're gonna get killed, and apparently I had a level of realism as a victim that they were not expecting, because when I first done it, Jack White himself was over across the street watching along with the director. When they saw the way that my eyes bulged out and I started gasping, they panicked themselves and come running over there. They're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I just looked like, I'm an actor at a haunt. I get killed for a living. I'm fine.
Be like, do you know who I am? Well, how did you even get into acting at haunts?
Well, originally started off acting on stage, a couple stage productions. Matter of fact, me and your other half, Tracy, were in a production years ago at the old Sound and Light Theater called Ring Castle Bell. We were both real little at the time. It was directed by the high school drama teacher. And it's one of the first places we even met and became good friends as well. So
I'm like, Ring Castle Bell, I don't even know what that is. So other than what you just told me.
A small stage play years ago.
Okay.
You know, ask Tracy about it. He can fill you in.
Oh, okay.
If you remember that far back.
You knew each other way before Slaughterhouse. Did you work at? No, you didn't work at Nashville Nightmare together, right?
I worked very briefly at Nashville Nightmare, doing special appearances. I mostly worked at the Haunted Woods at Priest Lake before Slaughterhouse.
Oh, okay. And how long have you been doing the haunts for?
I actually started doing haunts the year after I started doing Santa Claus, so I've been doing that about 5 years as well. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So you must enjoy it. 5 years in. 5 years in. So I know that you work at haunted houses and you've done some acting and things. So what about horror movies? Are you a horror movie fan?
I am a big horror movie fan.
Okay. All right. Cool. Any favorites? You want to give out a shout out to any favorites?
Well, actually, I like any kind of monster-based movies like vampires and werewolves. I'm a huge werewolf fan, actually. And you don't see enough werewolf movies anymore.
It's true.
It is true. It is true. What do you think about like the horror Christmas movies?
Those are actually pretty good. However, personally, I would never do one because being an actual Santa, it would only serve to confuse the children. But I'm a huge fan of watching them.
There you go.
Yeah. Any favorites out there?
I'm a fan of the old ones. I like Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay. So yes, Silent Night. That's the crazy Santa Claus, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Do you have, Mike? Before we get into quotes, do you have any questions for Santa Glenn?
So, have you done any independent films, Glenn? Anything that you've worked on or aspired to do? Maybe something on your future bucket list?
Well, in the future, I'm actually aspiring to tried to put everything together to make one myself.
Okay.
Once I get everything storyboarded out and everything, because I don't really have a script in mind. I believe in giving the performers the freedom to create the character themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like, okay, here's what we're going to do and run with it.
Very cool.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a cool idea. That's really cool. As long as it all comes together, lovely.
Well, I'm sure it will take multiple takes until everybody gets a feel for it, but
Yeah.
at least with digital, you don't have to pay to get it developed.
It just depends on your actors. Make sure you cast your actors very well. Ones that can do improv. Some actors can do improv so well that it could just go very smoothly for you. You get actors who aren't really that sort of type, who really kind of go very verbatim by script. They can't pull those punches sometimes, and it might not work out. I've done a few things like that where there's not really a basis of a script. There's an idea. And certain people can really bring that performance very well, but then there's certain people that they get stumped and they start kind of repeating the same thing over and over. So just be careful with that. But yeah, there's definitely some actors out there who can pull it off.
Of trying to build out a cast using people who work at haunts already, because yes, they do have the improvisational skills, but they don't have to stretch out for a 2-hour performance. A few seconds at a time, then okay, if we have to repeat ourselves later, that's fine. They're not going to be the same people, but you do have a very valid point.
Yeah. So Santa Glen, Mike and I, we play this game where I love movie quotes. That's my thing. I love movie quotes. So Mike will rattle off some movie quotes to you and I, and we have to guess what movie they're from.
All right.
You want to give it a try?
Sure, sounds fun.
It's fun. It's harder than what you think it would be, though. Sometimes it can be a little tough.
All right, here we go. We're going to do 5 of these, and this one is a theme. It's Christmas horror. All right, keep that in mind.
All right.
All right, here we go. Number 1, 2 words, and that's it. 2 words. That's all you get. Garbage day.
You're right. There's a tough.
Black Christmas.
That is tough.
It's not Black Christmas. No.
It's not Black Christmas. Okay.
Garbage day. No.
No, I knew the Christmas ones were going to be hard.
So this is.
I'm drawing a blank on Garbage Day myself.
This is. They've made a meme out of this one, and they show it every year. And it's this guy, because he has this very wild look on his face when he says Garbage Day, and then he starts shooting people. No,
not right offhand.
Well, here's my hint for you. It's a sequel to your favorite Christmas horror movie.
Oh, there you go. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Part?
How many? Aren't there like 5 of them?
There's like 5 of them. Which
okay,
part is it?
That's what I thought. I'm just going to roll with one and say the second one.
It is the second one. It is the second one.
Is Bill Moseley in the second one?
No, he's in like the 3rd or 4th one.
I knew he was in one of them. I haven't seen the one he's in, but I knew he was in one of mine.
Oh, they get weird. Like the 3 through 5 are really strange. They're not even really about Christmas when it gets to 5. Like, it's very strange. Yeah, you should. I mean, worth a watch for their crazy, crazy wildness. But 2 is basically kind of like a little bit of the first one, but then some more stuff added in. But there's this guy who you have to watch it because he says Garbage Day. It's just really silly.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah. All right, number 2. Here we go. You ready?
Ready.
It's Christmas. Nothing bad is going to happen on Christmas.
Nothing happens on Christmas.
Too hard?
Maybe.
That one's a little beyond mine as well.
We got a mythical creature in this one.
Is that one of the Krampus films?
Yeah. Krampus. It's the Krampus film, the
okay.
bigger budget one. There you
The
go.
bigger budget one. Okay.
All right, number 3. That's right, Sheriff. You take a good long look at this face, because next time you see it, it's going to tear your world apart. I'll find a way. I'll tear your town apart. Oh, I'll kill your family. I'll kill you. You're dead. You hear me? Dead.
I know I've heard this one before. That was a pretty long quote too. I was like,
Yep. I know you've heard this one because you told me you liked this movie. You watched it. Pretty campy. It's a campy movie.
It's a campy movie. Okay. Shit, that doesn't tell me anything. Campy movies, do you know how many movies there are? Okay. Hey, let's say, why don't you rattle out? Is that okay? Can you rattle off the quote one more time?
Sure. That's right, Sheriff. You take a good long look at this face, because the next time you see it, it's going to tear your world apart. I'll find a way. I'll tear your town apart. I'll kill your family. I'll kill you. You're dead. You hear me? Dead.
I know I've heard it before, but I'm like,
so the title of this movie is the title of another movie, which is a warm family Christmas movie.
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost.
Is that it? I was
That's
like,
it.
damn, I just watched this shit.
That's it.
Have you seen that one, Santa Claus? Have you seen Jack Frost?
I've seen several different movies entitled Jack Frost. That's what makes that one puzzling.
Yeah, this one.
It's the horror one.
Yeah, this is a creepy one.
All right, number 4.
Is that the one with the killer snowman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. All right, here we go. Number 4. We're trapped in a closet on Christmas with Santa trying to murder us. How fucked up is that?
With Santa trying to murder us, so let's see. Trapped in a closet. Well, Santa must be the murderer.
Okay.
Because that's a pretty good clue.
That is a clue.
Let me think, because there's quite a few of them, and their titles are similar to me. Santa Glenn, you should know this. Do you know this one?
It's not by chance Santa's Sleigh, Slay, is it?
It sure is. That's it.
Wow, that was good.
That is it.
Especially considering how many different Santa's Sleigh movies there have been.
I don't think I've seen Santa Sleigh.
You haven't seen that one?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, put that on your list. It's a decent one.
Okay.
It's a decent one. Yeah.
It is on my list now.
Okay, last one. Here we go. Number 5. Ready?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that fucking voice, that was not Megan or Kyle. That was the fucking devil, and he was not talking to us. He was talking to Billy.
Well, I don't recognize any of the names in it. I don't recognize any of the character names off the top of my head.
Me either, but I wouldn't want to be either one of them guys.
I'm telling you what, no kidding.
Whatever is out there.
Try to think of a Christmas movie that has Billy as a character.
Billy as a character. Okay.
I don't know. The only Billy I'm thinking of right offhand is in the movie Gremlins, and that's definitely not Krampus.
Well, that's what I when you said Billy, I was like, that's the first thing that come on. But I was like, that doesn't ring a bell. I mean, I couldn't put the 2 and 2 together.
Right. Okay, so this is a sequel / remake of a movie, and there's another remake after this one.
Would that by chance be Black Christmas?
Black Christmas, which one?
I'm thinking the second one.
Second one, 2006. Black Christmas. Bob Clark, kind of a sequel to his original, but sort of a sequel / reboot, I guess you would say. There you go. That's it. There's
Yeah, that's that's awesome. Look, that's good, Glenn. You kicked my ass on that, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Santa. Yeah. So, well, we really appreciate you coming on and talking to us tonight. And
Beauty of being
well,
Santa, have a team of elves to help me out.
oh, that's awesome. And for our listeners out there, in social media, where can we find you on social media?
Well, on social media, I can easily be found at Santa Glen on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh, yeah, glad to do it.
Okay. Thanks.
And thank you for having me and helping me through my technical difficulties.
No
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
Take care. You guys have a very good Christmas.
Oh, you too. Merry
You too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. And a pleasure to meet you, Mike.
Yep, you too. Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Santa Glen. There we go. All right.
Awesome.
How about it?
Cool.
Very
Glad
cool.
we got to talk to Santa a couple weeks before Christmas.
Absolutely. It's always good to have a Santa around. All right, so I got some Macabre Melodies. You want to get that out of the way, and then we'll wrap it up for the season?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Here we go. Number uno.
Merry Christmas, dear neighbor, it's the Smith down the hill. Henry and Linda and the kids Jane and Bill. We hate to complain and to be such a pest, but this holiday season we have one request. We wish you'd bury the missus. We wish you'd bury the missus. We wish you'd bury the missus. She's been dead since last year. She's getting quite gamey with mold on her skin. You killed her last Christmas. That's how long it has been. It's time you bury the missus. It's time you bury the missus. We wish you'd bury the missus. She's been dead a whole year.
All right.
It's funny when I was first listening to it, I was like, "Is this like an old cartoon, like Scrooge or something?" And then he starts talking about, she's been dead. I was like, "Wait, what did he say?" I was like, "Wait, no, maybe it's not a cartoon."
All right.
But no, I don't recall that I've ever heard it before. So
You recognize that voice?
yeah, I do. That's the crazy thing about it is,
Yeah. Don't know who it is.
I don't know who it is though. No.
That's the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. Apparently, he released a whole Christmas album called "Have Yourself a Scary Little Christmas."
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that even existed. That's cool. That's my good fan fact for the night.
Yeah.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. I have that on a big sign in like my dining room.
Nice. All right, number two. There's not a lot of Christmas horror songs, for sure. Didn't find a lot. So here we go. Number two. All right.
So it doesn't sound like a Christmas. It doesn't sound like anything Christmas. It sounds more like, I don't think I've heard it before, but it sounds like more like it being like a romance horror, like almost like The Crow or
Okay.
or
Okay.
Dracula or something like that. But it was then now the audio was a little low, so I couldn't hear it as plain as the other one, and it did kind of get distorted there a couple times.
Okay. All right. So Topo Negative is the band. So the song is called Red Water Christmas Morning. Morning, like morning. And basically the song is about getting drunk on Christmas because you're seeing ghosts, you're seeing visions of dead friends and relatives. Basically. Here's some of the lyrics. Wake up, it's Christmas morn. Those loved have long since gone. The stockings are hung, but who cares? Preserved for those no longer there. 6 feet beneath me sleep. Black lights hang from the tree. Accents of dead holly. Wool mistletoe, it's growing cold. I'm seeing ghosts. I'm drinking old red water, red water. So yeah, basically he's just like seeing ghosts.
Yeah, and he gets drunk on Christmas.
That's about all I can get for you for Christmas horror. There's not a whole lot out there.
I was gonna say I couldn't even come off with anything off the top of my head there.
Yeah, it's just not that much. I got one score for you though.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We think
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nope.
It's not?
No.
God, it's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it cartoon or
cartoon.
slow motion or stop motion?
No.
No. So it's funny, slow motion. No, Bridget, you're in slow motion tonight. Shit, I don't know. I really thought it was. Like, again, the audio's a little funky, but it almost sounded like this is Halloween. This is Halloween, but it's also a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yo, okay.
Might be a gremlin in your.
Oh, did you hear that?
You never.
Yeah. Oh, it's where they're in the bar. It's the Gremlins. They're in the bar and they're hanging on the things and they're tearing her bar up. Is that right?
There you go. It's the Gremlins.
Okay. Or I think it's the bar or restaurant or wherever. Yeah. That's
all right.
Funny. Okay. Cool.
There you go. That's all I've got for you for this season.
Yeah.
So we'll be back next year.
Yeah.
With some more horror to talk about.
Yep.
Hardcore, maybe.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Perfect. Well, Bridget, until next year, have yourself a hardcore, scary little Christmas.
That's right. Scary Christmas. See you next year.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow. That's hardcore.
Nothing harder.
Hardcore Horror with Mike and Bridget is a part of the Tennessee Horror Podcast Network.